We are going live, no going to live. 1 second. Hi everyone, welcome to TalentSprint. Here we are again today discussing a very important thing about IBPS PO exam. In the last 2 live sessions where a lot of people joined us, we discussed about how you have to apply, what are the important dates that you should be considering, and we also discussed that it is really important what the pattern should be. We showed you certain videos of our expert Mr. Rohit Agarwal who discussed certain technical things and techniques, the shortcut methods that will help you with your preparation, isn't it? I'm sure you must have found it very interesting, and a lot of people have already enrolled to our program to crack their dream job by cracking their dream exam, which is IBPS PO exam. Alright guys, so then you're wondering what we are going to talk about today. Another very important change that has brought in this IBPS PO exam is the exam pattern itself. I'm sure you must have already heard about it and known about it, that the IBPS PO exam pattern has changed drastically this time. Basically, the mains has changed big time, right? So today we are going to talk about that. I'm assuming that you guys have already completed your application form. There are no doubts, it has gone smoothly, and you made sure that the email IDs and the phone numbers are perfect in that. If you have not completed your application yet, I would say, guys, you don't just delaying it for no reason. You should just go ahead and if you have not completed your application yet, I would say that guys, you should be actually focusing delaying it for no reason. You should just go ahead and if you have not completed your application yet, I would say that guys, you don't just delaying it for no reason. You should just go ahead and if you have not completed your application yet, I would say that guys, you don't just. First is the prelims, then is the mains, and then we have an interview. This time what we see that the prelims is the same pattern as last time. Now what is the pattern what we had for the prelims is English, quant and reasoning. Right, so English is 30, quant and reasoning is 35. You have 1 hour for the exam, negative marks remains the same. That's the pattern which has always been in last year also, and it's continuing the same this time as well. So focus on the English, very important that you make sure that though the syllabus you may find it as lengthy, usually language syllabuses you find it lengthy. So make sure that you are very good with certain tricks. Now, I would not say that just like quant, English also has perfect tricks. No, English is more about practice. Just like quant, there are certain tricks that you can practice in quant, but in English, it is about your knowledge also. You should have knowledge about root words, suffix, prefix, these kind of knowledge of vocabulary that will help you to get to the answer ASAP. At the earliest you will be able to get it. Okay, you should also have certain ideas about tenses, grammatical ideas. You should have ideas about that, when which tense is used, which way it should be used. Now guys, if you are not speaking in English, not thinking in English, you're you may think यार बस लिखना ही तो है, रिटन एग्जाम है, क्यों बात करना है इंग्लिश में। मगर जब तक आप बात नहीं करोगे, आपका रिटन कम्युनिकेशन जो है दैट ऑल्सो विल नॉट इम्प्रूव. So if you're talking in English, speaking in English, you can match up with the written thing, and it will help you with your speaking skills definitely after you get the job, but it will also help you to crack the English section. Okay, so I would highly recommend that you download an app or download a lot of test papers for reading comprehension. We have it in our TalentSprint program itself. So enroll to our program to get total mock test and preparation tests for this exam. Okay, so speaking about the prelims, we saw that there has been no change. The 3 sections remains the same. The name remains the same about it. Alright, so for the people who have joined us now, just to give you a heads up what we are talking about the important and very important changes that have been noticed in this IBPS 2017 PO exam. We are talking about trying to highlight those changes today. Okay. So prelims no change. So then you must be thinking, फिर change हुआ क्या है? Boss, change हुआ है mains, right? Mains pattern has totally changed. Lot of changes that has happened this time. And if you have already written the SBI exam, you know it yourself that the SBI pattern has been replicated in IBPS this time. Okay, so make sure that if you have not written SBI exam, if you have got some memory based SBI exams, previous exams of this year, you are trying to solve those, because that will help you for your IBPS exam. Okay, so speaking about the pattern of the mains, 2016 का pattern क्या था? पहले ये समझ लेते हैं, so that we get to know that boss change actually हुआ क्या है. So 2016, it was 200 marks, it was 2 hours, 10 minutes, 140 minutes was our time there. Now, so 2016 we had reasoning, which was 50 marks, we had English language, which was 40 marks, we had quantitative aptitude for 50, we had general awareness, specifically focusing on banking sector mostly, for 40 marks, and we had computer knowledge, that was for 20 marks. So we had reasoning and quant 50-50, English 40, general awareness 40, and we had computer knowledge, which was 20. We did not have any descriptive paper. There was no descriptive paper in IBPS PO last year. But this year onwards, we have this descriptive paper. We know that the mains are in November, around 26th November is our main. So I am very, very sure that you will do an excellent job in prelims, and that's why I'm focusing on the mains today, so that you are preparing yourself for the mains as well as you prepare for the prelims. Okay, our mentality should be that prelims, I will anyways crack it. Let's again focus on the mains. So you have to definitely think about it step by step, but when you're preparing for prelims, you should not again start from the scratch for the mains. So you should make sure from the prelims, however you're preparing, it should help you in the mains as well. Okay, speaking about the mains, certain things have been clubbed this time in the mains exam. Certain things has been clubbed. Okay, for example, what we were talking about computer knowledge, it has been clubbed, and with what? It has been clubbed with reasoning. So reasoning and computer has been clubbed, and it has a different name altogether. The section has a different name altogether, which is reasoning and computer aptitude. That's the name of the section. Now, what is the change that has happened? Earlier, if you see, reasoning had 50 and computer knowledge had 20 marks, right? So overall, there were 70 questions. Now, the number of questions has reduced. 25 questions has reduced. So we now have 45 questions. Okay, so no more 70 questions. We have only 45 questions for reasoning and computer aptitude together. So that's 45 questions. And what's the time limit for 45 questions? The marks are 60 marks. That's the maximum marks, and 60 minutes is the time for that particular section. So that's I'm talking about the section wise division. So for reasoning and computer aptitude, 45 questions, 60 marks, 60 minutes. Right? Simple. You should be able to do many questions at this point accurately, because if you see, it is not one question per minute, it is more than that. So that should be done very well in that way. The second thing is about English language, which has not really changed too much, because the 35 questions are there. earlier it was 30 questions, now it is 35 questions. So 5 questions have increased, but the number of marks remains the same. It is 40 marks, 40 minutes. That's the division of the minutes. So 35 questions, 40 marks is the maximum marks you can get in the English language section, and 40 minutes is the time for that section. Moving on to something which you have not heard earlier. You may have heard it if you have given SBI exam. So this is called the data analysis and interpretation. The name is very big, very fancy, but it is nothing but quantitative aptitude. So quantitative aptitude has been renamed as data analysis and interpretation. In this, the number of questions that you're getting right now is 35 questions. You have 35 questions, 60 marks, and 45 minutes. Yes, so quant earlier we had 50 questions. The number of questions is again reduced, but then you have the marks you can get is more, but the number of minutes that you spend on this 35 questions are again 45 minutes only. It's not 1 minute, 1 minute, not. So it's in that way it is good, guys. It is not just 1 minute. You have a little more than a minute and few seconds for each question. So 35 questions, you can get 60 marks. If you are very good with data interpretation, I think that is really a good thing to focus on, because if those 35 questions are correct, 60 marks is in your kitty. All right, the last part is general awareness, which was called general awareness earlier. Now it has a new name again, which is called general/economy/banking awareness. So earlier we used to have 40 questions on that. So the number of questions remains the same. It is 40 questions, 40 marks that you can get, and the time limit for this is 35 minutes that we have put in. Okay, you can put in 35 minutes for these 40 questions there. So what's the total? The total number of questions remains to 155. It is not the same. Earlier we used to have 200 questions, 200 marks, but now it is 155 questions. So the number of questions have reduced, but marks remains the same. The marks is 200 marks that you get, and the total time right now we have is 3 hours. We divide this into 3 hours, so the total time is 3 hours. That's the major change that has happened for the mains exam. Now, if you remember, I told you that in 2016 there were no descriptive paper. But in 2017 we have a descriptive paper as well. You have a 25 marks descriptive paper, which is email and an essay. So that's your descriptive paper, and you have 30 minutes for this descriptive paper, which was not there in 2016. If you understand, the total pattern has actually changed. It has become just like SBI, as I mentioned earlier. So this pattern, you have to really make sure that you work according to the new pattern. Your time management, which is extremely important, has to be based on the pattern. If you're not very good with lengthy questions, earlier it was only objective. If you're not good with emails and letter writing, essay writing, then you have to focus on that, because definitely there are certain strategies for writing as well. So to get the maximum marks in writing, you have to focus on how to divide an essay, how to divide an email, which I'm sure TalentSprint program will help you in understanding those details as well. So guys, the mains have changed drastically. Focus on the prelims, which has not changed. We still have 100 marks, 100 minutes for that. For those 1 hour for 100 questions and 100 marks, 3 sections. That should be our first focus. But while you're preparing for English, quant and reasoning in the prelims, make sure that you are definitely focusing on the patterns that was there or that is going to be there in the mains. So we have seen that IBPS PO has been trying to replicate SBI type of questions, the difficulty level and so on. So please go ahead and definitely practice SBI previous question papers. That I'm sure that's going to help you with your preparation there. So speaking about these things, we now know about the application form. We have discussed that earlier. We have seen what are the changes. Today we are again going to see a very nice video, or very effective video that is going to help you with your averages. So that we are going to see right now. You can also check the same video on our YouTube section. Here is the video that is for assumed average. So enjoy for the next 5 minutes, 46 seconds is the video. Enjoy and learn a lot. Make notes that will help you while you are practicing such type of questions. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello everyone and welcome to TalentSprint. I'm Rohit and here's your daily dose of aptitude skills. In this video we shall discuss about average. Well, I'm sure all of you know how to calculate the average of the given values, right? Average is nothing but sum of all the values divided by the number of values, and all of you can do that easily. But then in this video we shall learn how to do that calculation much faster. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Let me take some values here. Let's say 30, 37, 29, 28, 41 and 33. Alright, so here we have got 6 values and we are required to calculate the average of these values. Now going by the formula, that is sum of all the values by number of values, what do we get? 30 plus 37, which is 67, 67 plus 29 is 96, 96 plus 28 is 124, 124 plus 41 is 165, 165 and 33 is 198. 198 divided by the number of values, which is 6 here. What do we get? 198 upon 6, and on further simplification we get the answer as 33. So clearly the average of the given values here is 33. But then let us discuss this concept of assumed average, which will help you do the same calculation or arrive at the required answer much faster. So what is this all about? Assumed average. Now if you observe the numbers given here, 30, 37, 29, 28, 41 and 33, all the numbers here are in a given range, right? These numbers are spaced closely. And in such cases, we can follow this method of assumed average and get the answer much faster. So what do we do here? Assume a value which you think can be the average of these numbers, right? Now you need not be very accurate here, just an appropriate number. Or an ideal way of doing that is pick up the smallest and the largest numbers of the given values and then take the average of those two. For example, here we have 29 as the smallest, or 28 as the smallest value, and 41 is the largest. Now what is 28 plus 41? 69. Now take average of 69, 28 plus 41 upon 2. It comes out to be 34.5. So we can say that the assumed average is 35, right? Somewhere close to 35. Now that's what we have, right? The assumed average, or we can say we are assuming the average of these values to be 35. What needs to be done now is check the deviation of each of these values from the assumed average. Alright, for example, look at the first number 30. This is 5 away from 35 and before 35, right? So minus 5. 30 is 35 minus 5, right? The deviation here is minus 5. And just proceed with the remaining numbers. Now look at 37. 37 is 2 more than 35, right? 2 more than the assumed average. So 37 is plus 2. And then 29. 29 is 6 less than 35. So we get minus 6, alright? And 28 is 35 minus 7. 41 is 35 plus 6. And 33 is 35 plus 2. 35 minus 2. Alright, so these are the deviations of the given values with respect to the assumed average. And now just calculate the average of these deviations. What do we get? Minus 5 plus 2 minus 6 minus 7 plus 6 minus 2 upon 6, because there are 6 observations here. Now do the calculation here. Incidentally, we see that minus 6 and plus 6 gets cancelled. minus 2 and plus 2 gets cancelled out. We are left with minus 5 minus 7, which is minus 12. Minus 12 upon 6 is minus 2. So what we get to know here is the assumed average for the given values was taken as 35, and then when we take the average of the deviations of each of these numbers with respect to the assumed average, we get it as minus 2. So we can say that the actual average is assumed average with the deviation, right? Assumed average plus or minus the deviation. So we can say the final answer here has to be the assumed average 35, and whatever we get here, if it is plus, just add it to this value. If it is minus, subtract. So 35 minus 2, which is 33. And that is what we had got earlier. But the difference, as you can observe, is the calculation, right? This would definitely take more time when compared to this calculation, because here we have larger numbers to be added and then divided by 6, right? The sum has to be divided by 6. And in this case, you see that some of them get cancelled, but even if there are no cancellations, we can do this calculation much faster when compared to the original one. So this is how the concept of assumed average or assumed mean will help us doing this calculation with respect to average much faster without any difficulty. I hope all of you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching this, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking this button so that you can get access to more such videos on quantitative aptitude. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.
Today I'm going to take you through the heteronyms. Heteronyms are the words which are spelled the same but the pronunciation different.
Wow, that was such a super duper easy way of getting averages. Oh my god, I have never thought that averages could be so easy. For me, it is always, oh god, find what is the average in a proper traditional method that he has showed previously. So I'm sure if you would like to watch such videos that will help you with your preparation, doing things fast and easy, because time management is very, very important, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can also enroll to our program to get such awesome videos of Mr. Rohit Agarwal and also of our English content videos. Guys, that was about the video. So that is going to help you with your preparation. But one thing that I'm sure you must have heard a lot of times people talking about is practice. सिर्फ ट्रिक्स जानने से फायदा नहीं है, प्रैक्टिस करना बहुत जरूरी है. I'm sure you have heard this lot of times, and without practice, it's not possible. Right? So practice to आप कर लोगे. You will do the practice, you will write mock test. I'm sure you will do the mock test from other websites as well. You will do the mock test that we have, which is Saturday, Sunday, we have a mock test, all India mock test for you guys. But what is it different when you write a mock test with TalentSprint? You must be wondering that कि यार इसमें different क्या है? सब लोग mock test देते हैं. So what is different with us? What is different is we have a proprietary bot which is called as Tia. Who is Tia? Tia is an artificial intelligence bot. She is a digital advisor for you, and after the exam you will just not get a report card. Usually क्या होता है, रिपोर्ट कार्ड हमें मिल जाता है कि क्वांट में आपको इतना मिला है, इंग्लिश में इतना मिला है. So that is not what Tia does. You just not get a simple report card, but what you get is a personalized plan for you. That is what is different with TalentSprint mock test. When you write a mock test on the weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, you will get a personalized TR report. The TR report will give you a personalized plan about this much you have, this much time you have spent in quant, you have not done these questions correctly in quant, you have taken extra time for these questions and got it correct. To manage the time for these kind of questions, watch this video which will help you with a trick. This kind of detailed report is what you get. In fact, Tia will also tell you which video to watch, which will help you to get better in that kind of questions. And I'm just giving you an example for quant, but Tia does it for every other section also, whether it's for English, whether it is for reasoning. She is going to give you a personalized plan for everything there. So go ahead and write the mock test of Tia, with the Tia report of TalentSprint. When you write, this will help you for your planning. Okay, just practicing plan and then we are executing our plan and just practicing will not help you, because once you practice you should know your strength and weakness, which a faculty member will give you a very subjective kind of saying that what I've observed, these many, you are doing more number of questions wrong in this. That is a very subjective, very maybe that is my feeling about when I look into the test kind of thing. Okay, but Tia will give you a proper data. Data is what speaks, guys. So data, on data points, she's going to tell you that, boss, this, you have not done it correctly. Also, we have a ranking. So you will exactly know that where you are you among the top 5 in our All India mock results. If you're not in the top 5, you have to aim for being the top 5. You know what are the cutoff, how people are doing better there. So this is the whole, it is like a culture that we have developed here with our All India mock test, with a culture of knowing where you actually stand, knowing how you can do better and reach to the top, because that ultimately is the goal, isn't it? So go ahead and write the test if you have not written it yet, or you have not experienced the TR report test yet. I would suggest and very strongly recommend that you go and write the test this Saturday and Sunday. You definitely log on to our website and write the test. So that was about the personalized learning thing that we give to our students who exactly know where they stand and how they should prepare to crack their exam, their dream exam, and get their dream job. So today, what did we discuss? Just quickly wrap up today's session and just see what did we discuss today. We discussed the main changes that has happened in the pattern of the IBPS PO, and we understood and came to a conclusion that prelims has not changed, mains has changed drastically, and now it is replicating SBI exams. So you have to focus, prepare taking the help of SBI memory-based patterns or memory-based exams. Question papers that you have on the internet, use them for your preparation. I have shown you today assumed average video, through which I'm sure you understood a good trick that will help you with all questions related to average. And then we also discussed about the personalized learning plan that TIA gives you, which will help you for knowing your strengths and weakness and how you should make your weakness more strong and how you should make your strong point more strong, right? So those are the things we discussed. If you're interested in our program, you can simply give us a call. Our number is 1800-108-3535, or you can simply log on to www.talentsprint.com to understand our program. Thank you so much for joining us live today. I'll see you again tomorrow around 7:30 and discuss a new thing about IBPS PO exam. Till then, hope you have completed your application. If not, go ahead and finish your application, and all the best for your preparation. Take care then.